Hello viewers. Today I wanted to show you a new acquisition as of 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Lakewood S-223. If you know my channel, you know that I already have one. I've done a video on it, and really the story here is this came up on Marketplace today. No, it came up on Marketplace like a day ago or so. I saw it and I really don't need another one. In fact, while I love these Lakewood fans, this is one that to me is not Lakewood, if you will, but just because of the square or rectangular cabinet. And you know, you think of Lakewood, you think rounded. That's they're iconic for that, right? So the one that I have, while I like it, I don't really ever use it. And if anyone ever in my kind of universe, fellow fan collectors was dying for it, certainly I would let it go for that. But for them, and this one here was $8. I probably could have gotten it for $5 or $6 or whatever, but it was on there, $8. And the other reason I grabbed it is in this location on Marketplace. Craigslist is getting just, people use Marketplace really. I do occasionally look at Craigslist, but on Marketplace around me, there's really nothing ever. And everything's a drive, and most of the stuff that's like kind of around is just new stuff like 373, tons of new 3733s. And you know, I guess I was looking for a beater 3733 and I wanted to drive a half hour. Sure, okay. So this came up, and ironically there's been one of these on Craigslist not that too far away from me, but they want like $50 for it, and I think it's in similar condition to this, maybe a little less yellowing, and it's been there for like 2 years. And I thought about reaching out and saying, would you take $10 for it? Because it's been on Craigslist for like 100 years. But again, it's not like a model that I am totally been looking forever for or something like that. Really already have one, just to kind of have one. So here it is. This one, the cabinet is actually in better condition than the one that I have already. The one that and I haven't done anything I just pulled it out of the trunk of the car, so it hasn't been cleaned, anything. But the one I have, I think there's a little bit of paint spatter on it from the previous owner or whoever, how many people owned it. So this one, the cabinet looks like to be in better condition. And the lady who came to the door was an older woman, probably in her 70s or so, maybe older, late 70s. So I should imagine this was hers, and it seemed like a non-smoker kind of situation. Maybe it had spent some time being used in the window. Some yellowing on the knob, but the handle looks very white. Grill has some yellowing, but then again, it could have been sitting in front of a sliding door or a front door, getting the sun that way versus in the window. And I wonder if it has low hours on it, because it's actually really clean for what it is, for its age. And so somebody had to have at least attempted to clean it at some point. Couple slats that are busted, but you know, that's not too out of the ordinary. So let's turn it on for the first time. So we'll start with low. I think somebody unplugged my cord, because somebody was just over here. Yes, somebody unplugged my cord. I was about to say I have a non-working fan. Okay. So let's take a look. Now let's try again. Of course, at the time of this taping, someone out there has their lawnmower going. So the low looks very Lakewood-like for these. You know, very similar to the 223 or the K223. You know, really generally, I think these are the same fan except for the different cabinet. Although my collectors out there will correct me in the comments, which I am grateful for. So medium. I mean, these are really cool. I know they don't look like a typical Lakewood because they're the cabinet, but the cabinet is enormous. It's awesome. It really reminds me of like an 80s, early 80s sized cabinet of Alaska, Galaxy, Sears, Eastern Electric. Sounds really good. I mean, this thing has to have low hours on it. Check the spin down. Spin down is nice. So, interesting thing here. I thought, yeah, on the hub, right here, you probably, I don't know if you can see, there is a slight opening behind, you know, I don't know what you call these windows, I guess you call them like windows. And these windows, I think they're cool looking, but they are almost more for design. One of them kind of has a little punch out in there, and it's probably too small to use it to access the oil port, which would be awesome. You probably have to yank these blades off, and from experience, and my fellow collectors out there probably know, pulling off the blades on a Lakewood is brutal, and you have to have so much patience or you'll crack it. Let's turn it around, take a look at the back. You see the cabinet. So here, I think this actually, I stand corrected. I think this has been used in the window quite a bit because the rear guard is quite yellowed compared to the front. So it seems like this was used in the window a good deal, which is fine because that's what I do. And it looks like there's a little bit of dirt up here, so somebody tried to clean it. And take a look at the windings. So the windings are dusty. I don't know if I can get you in there close, and the lighting's poor in here, so I do apologize. So can you see? It's tough to tell. Now you can kind of, not really, but maybe. So I apologize for that. Okay. So it looks like someone did a surface level cleaning to it. Maybe they popped the grill off because there is minor cracking, dead giveaway, minor there. And I know sometimes if you tighten these older grills a little too much, the plastic gives way. You have to be careful there. So somebody went to the trouble, which is more than most, to remove surface level dust because the blades are pretty darn clean. There's nothing on them. Again, windings have dust on them, but they're not brutal. They're not brutal. So I think really what this will be just my typical servicing. You know, take off the guards. Guards probably will use a light cleaning. Clean the cabinet inside and out. The support bars, whatever you call those. Motor will compress the air, blow out the motor, and then do oil, and then try to patiently pop those blades off. And I know some people have done videos on how to get these blades off. I think kind of the most effective or the best video I've seen to get Lakewood blades off is to obviously take the guards off on both sides, lay the cabinet on the ground, preferably like a carpet, right? So something soft, and then kind of kneel so your shins or your knee area of your legs are holding the edges of the cabinet down, and then carefully pull straight up. Don't pull at an angle to try to wiggle it up because you'll snap the plastic. pull straight. Now, from experience, that still takes patience. You have to just pull, and even take a break, because it'll annoy your shins and your legs crouched down like that. But that has worked for me. If somebody else has a better idea, I think there was a time, can't remember if it was a Lakewood, where I just couldn't do it. So I pulled the motor out completely, put the motor in my vise carefully, very carefully, and then pulled up on that, and that ultimately worked for me. I think actually, no, that was not a Lakewood. That was a early 90s Eastern Electric, I believe, AKA Lasco. So we'll just do a quick, I'll just put it on high. So while that's on spin down, I'll throw this out there. I don't need 2 of these, and if someone's really itching to get their hands on one, I physically live in the New England area, but travel by vehicle down through Massachusetts, through Rhode Island, Connecticut, up parts of New York, not New York City, Northwest New Jersey area, Pennsylvania, out west to Ohio, out that way. If someone's interested, because I know there's some collectors in Connecticut, Pennsylvania area, if someone's interested in this, maybe for a trade, I'm not looking to make any money. I think I want to keep this one. I'm not sure which one I want to keep, but if you're looking for an S-223, and they're out there, there's definitely some on eBay, but by the time you pay what the exorbitant price they're asking for and shipping, it's like, is it really worth it? So if someone's interested in one of these, and we can maybe meet for an exchange, or if there's something you want to trade, I'd also be interested in that. So let me know, comment, like, subscribe, and you can check out the other video I did on the other S-223, and maybe the next step is to pull the other one out and do a little side by side, see which one runs better. This one we will service, of course, and perhaps we'll do a video on that. Thanks, and see you next time.